Hey guys, it's Tombox. Welcome to MST.TV's new live duel layout, and this is a very interesting game as well because we have Necroface, which has recently been unlimited by the ban list, and we also have Rokkets in 2020. This is following the April 2020 ban list, and of course it's also Master Rule 5 now. So there is no glow up bulb, there is no copies of Steam the Cloak, but you can still use Christian Clipperbrax to set up your board, and this is what this. Well, I'm gonna try to demonstrate this. Now, a little bit of background about this duel. Necroface side is my fiance Care, and on the right side is me. We're disputing over who's gonna take out the fermented trash and do the dishes. And I use a lot of pots and pans, guys. It's a mess. So, you know, someone will have to take care of it. And that's how we always settle disputes in this household. So I would like you guys to believe. No, we're just doing this a little bit of extra here. But, okay, aside from that, let's start this matchup with a little bit of deck knowledge. Necroface is more or less a tempo-based deck that has a lot of really awkward win conditions. They've got the One Punch Man Grand Maju, they can also deck you out, they can win in time, they've got everything kind of built in to be the most annoying deck possible. And there's also Mystic Mind that can win against combo decks. Now, for me, I'm Rocket, I am centric to the combo decks, I love my dragons, and I'm going to start off with a quick launch. Quick launch into a Rocket Tracer because it's a tuner. And that tuner will give us access to Crystron, Clipperbrax, and with a handful of rockets, there's enough to combo off. It just depends on the angle that I'm going with. The other two cards, Chaos Dragon Levianeer and a Spiral Galactic Dragon, or Galactic Spiral Dragon. We're going to summon out, normal summon out, specifically the Magna Rocket, and we're going to link that one off into Striker Dragon, leaving the Rocket Tracer still on the field. This is going to add a Boot Sector launch from the effect of Striker Dragon. This is going to let us special summon more rockets out from our hand. We got one rocket left, and I think that's going to provide us with enough bodies. So right now we don't have the arrows yet, and Christian Clipperbrax is going to set up the arrows for us and drop a Dragon Tuner onto the field using its own effect. Now, for the Necroface deck, they don't exactly have very many hand traps. They're kind of more focused on survival. As long as they can survive, gain enough life, stall you out to the point that they can execute their combo, deck you out, or just one punch you, then that's their win con. And they don't really need to go too far. Okay, with the Boot Sector launch activated, we're gonna go ahead and summon out the Silver Rocket. Slight pull there. That shouldn't have been pulled out. For the Galactic Spiral Dragon. Okay, we're gonna get rid of the Silver Rocket Dragon. We're gonna link that into a Guard Dragon LP. And with the other dragon, we're gonna go into another Striker Dragon. So yeah, this is the combo that Rockets do now. We double up. And the LP's effect. And that's going to summon out Black Metal Dragon, because Black Metal Dragon can add the Red Eyes Darkness Metal when it's sent to the graveyard, and it's a dragon that is level 1, so it can go into Pisty as well. From here, we're going to activate Striker Dragon to open up the zone that you're going to summon out the Guard Dragon Pisty into, and we're going to add back the Striker Dragon into our hand, which will be useful for throwing away for cost later on. And Black Metal Dragon has been linked off, and just revealing it once again, since it was confirmation was required, what did I add to my hand? It was the Rocket Tracer. And now the Black Metal Dragon is going to activate, giving us the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Man, this is such a fluid combo, but there is a weakness of, what if you get Ash at that point where if you're trying to search the Black Metal Dragon, I was trying to search the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Yeah, then you kind of jammed your own zones. I guess you can go into a Boral Sword or a Delindrus, whatever it may be, if you have the right extenders. Okay, so we're going to banish the LP, summon out the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, which opens up the zone for the Pisty, and we're just going to waste the first summon to get out a Delindrus by using 2 Dark Dragon. Now we're going to use Pisty's effect, special summon back our Red Eyes Darkness Metal. We still have a hand full of a couple of cards. And with 2 dragons, we're going to send them both to the grave. This is a link summon for 2 dragons. In other words, we're going to go into a Dragoonity Knight Romulus. That's also going to add us a card of Dragon Ravine, which sets our graveyard up even more. Now, here's the weird thought though. Why would you bother with this? Because you already have the Galactic Spiral Dragon. Is this going too far? Is there a better option at that particular point? Perhaps we could have quad borrowed already? Who knows? Okay, now we're going to go into the Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine's effect has been activated, and we're going to throw into the graveyard the Rocket Tracer, which can be revived by Red Ice Darkness Metal. Delindrus is also in the graveyard, so when the moment you revive that Rocket Tracer, it's going to summon out Delindrus, and we'll have multiple lights and dark. So the card in our hand, the Galactic Spiral Dragon, is going to activate. Now, looking into the graveyard, I have to check, what do I want to toss into the graveyard at this point? You already have the Galactic Spiral in hand. Chaos Dragon Levianeer is also there, but Absorouter was not activated, so throwing into the graveyard Absorouter, and that's going to fetch us a new card back into our hand. I think this part may have been a little bit wasted, so we're going to add a Rocket. I believe we're going to add a Rocket Synchron, just in case some other combo might fall short. And with the Absorouter in the graveyard, that's going to give us an opportunity to synchro into Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, or if we don't get far enough, the Borreload Savage. Unfortunately, no real life point changes so far. Let's take our time here to actually look at this new layout of ours. This is actually live streamable as well. If we set up live duels, I don't know if you guys want to see this stuff. And I'm in control of the life points right now, so I'm trying to focus on two things, which is a little harder. And it was banish 3 darks, 2 striker dragons, and a black metal dragon, and we're going to use Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Chaos Dragon Levianeer is going to put back 1 card. Kair's hand is actually very scary. There's also a Mystic Mine in there, which is the card that actually got pulled out and shuffled back into the deck. Thank goodness on red side. And with 2 Dark Dragons on the field, Galactic Spiral Dragon has met its condition to activate. So we're going to activate and special summon it onto the field. And I am going to not change levels because I already have 2 8s, and changing levels is not the most ideal move when you have a copy of Rocket Tracer, because you want to maintain the level. Otherwise you'll be forced to go into a quad borrow to pop itself to reset it all. Anyways, Hope Harbinger has been summoned by Xyz, and we're going to do the Red Ice Darkness Metal special summon out the Rocket Tracer. That's going to leave the Delindrus on the field. And we're going to link these 2 off. Delindrus is supposed to get banished, because when it summons itself from that effect, that's exactly what happens. And with 2 dragons, we can go into a Union Carrier. Remember, we have not used Rocket Tracer's effect to lock us into dark, nor have we normal summoned out a Rocket Synchron to do just that. So that's not really happening. So we're gonna go ahead and equip the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. That's going to lock our opponent out of the extra deck. So Kair now has no access to our extra deck. Does it really matter for a Necroface deck? I would say not as much. And now Rocket Tracer's effect is going to pop the Red Ice Darkness Metal. Yes, Darkness Metal has been targeted. Okay, so yeah, we're killing the big boss. Why not pop the Union Carrier? It's because Union Carrier it's because it's a link monster, and we can use it to fuel for our quad borrow. Since we use the effect of Rocket Tracer, now we're locked into darks only. So you can either synchro right now into Borreload Savage. Nope, we're going to quad borrow. Quad borrow effect. We're going to ditch out our Rocket Synchron. This is actually a heavy extension because of the need to put out an Unchained Abomination, which is really good against the Necroface deck because they need to set cards on the field and you can pop them and there's no repercussion. So now we're going to link it off first. And if you guys are wondering why I'm not maintaining zone, remember it's just Master Rule has changed. We can summon to basically anywhere as long as you're not a Link or a Pendulum. Now specifically a Pendulum coming out of the extra deck. And we're going to equip Crystal Hack Clifforbrax. That's probably the best monster, Tom. Just drop it. Ah, there we go. You dropped it. Drop it like it's hot. And we're going to pass turn. The reason why we need so many spell negations is because spells are the biggest threat in this particular deck. They can Mystic Mine me, they can Inferno Tempest me, they get a lot of things going for them, and I also have to worry about them one-punching me or using Eater of Millions just to bait my negations. It's very scary. Ooh, Upstart got played. I actually get to test my system here, and we get to add 1,000 life points for the Upstart Goblin. Alright. And Pot of Desires. Now, Pot of Desires, you gotta pay cost. 10 cards get banished. I think that's the only part that they really care about. Because once you get the cards banished, you already have succeeded in boosting the attack of your Grand Maju. No, 8,000 to 9,000. Just gonna bring in a quick check. Gizmek, Kaiju, Eater of Millions, Nibiru, Kaiju Slumber. Yeah, you know what? That was actually a pretty good banish. She didn't lose 100% of something. That makes it really easy for you to play through this. Oh, drew another pot. That's not great. She apparently chose not to use the Pot of Extravagance. I think that one's a better +1. It's a little safer. You don't have to lose as many materials. Okay, well, she's starting off with a Kaiju, and I think the bigger threat Kaiju is the 4K one. That just pointing as that's just leading to lethal. Alright, so we're losing a bunch of cards here. We get Kaiju. Thunder King Kaiju has been summoned by tributing our Hope Harbinger. And Grand Maju has been summoned with 10 cards banished, a 4K one. Or the 4K. Like, how strong is this one? It's 3750 from the 15 from the Crystron Clifferbrax. I don't think she can really do too much. Is he gonna be setting a couple of cards? No, she's gonna go for the swing first. Ow, take 1,000, Tom. Okay, so the upstart was basically free. And she took out a monster, so in other words, she got a +1. Okay, I'll draw off a turn as an Ash Blossom Joy Spring. Managed to keep the Dragon Ravine alive by not popping it. Pop the Red Eyes instead. So we're gonna go ahead and activate and throw that into the graveyard, and we're gonna throw a Safer into the graveyard because our Hope Harbinger got tributed. In other words, every material is back in the graveyard. I can re-add everything back in. So Chaos Hand has a Thunder King Kaiju. You guys might be wondering what's going on there. Now for the Thunder King Kaiju, at this particular point, she thought that, hey, I can't summon Kaiju with the same name. She plays around the mindset of Slumber, but that's not correct for this play. But the only difference it would make is that we would probably just lose the other Kaiju because the Borreload Savage is just too big. And we're now using Safer. Safer added back the Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Chaos Dragon Levianeer is now banishing Lights and Darks to pop multiple cards because that Grand Maju is actually still too big. And if he sits on it, he can wall up. And we don't want that because you don't want to grind against this deck ever. If you grind against it, you will lose 90% of the time because they can reset their combo while you burn most of your resources. So we're popping the Grand Maju and we're popping... We hit the other card. No, we hit the Pot of Desires, which is the bluff. This is actually a very effective bluff because the other card is actually a live card. So with 2 Dark Dragons, we can summon out the Galactic Spiral Dragon that was sent to the graveyard as the material from the Hope Harbinger that got tributed for the Kaiju. And we're gonna swing for 3,300, and in the end of damage step, we're gonna see an Inferno Tempest. Unfortunately, the Inferno Tempest gets negated by the Borreload Savage. Thank God. Oh my God, that would have been really scary. I think I would have just straight up lost, but actually resolved. And the Chaos Dragon Levianeer cannot attack because we pulled, well, we actually popped cards, so that's the effect to use. So the other thing that we can actually swing with is the Borreload Savage Dragon. So yeah, we hit with that. Just 3,750. That leaves her at 950, and she drew into a Pot of Extravagance. Oh my God, that's actually not very good. Oh, actually, now in hindsight, that misplay with the Kaiju probably cost her the ability to use the Inferno Tempest, since she could have swung into the Abomination with the Kaiju and then hit hit my copy of a Borrowload Savage Dragon with the Grenmaju, therefore I would not have been able to negate, therefore decking myself out. It's a possibility, but I'm glad it didn't happen. And she reveals hand. That is her scoop phase right there. There's not much we can do with just showcasing the Thunder King Kaiju. And yeah, that was a game costly misplay. Well, that's fortunate for me. I am one step away from the kitchen duty. Well, every misplay counts, especially when you're playing a tempo-based deck. And hopefully she learned a thing or two about how the Kaijus work, and maybe we won't see that misplay in the future games. And Inferno Tempest, we would love to see it resolve, wouldn't we? She is now choosing to go first. Sides are in. I know she runs Mystic Mind, and she is now showing us her hand. So Care shows us Pot of Extravagance, Inferno Tempest, Demise of the Land, Gold Sark, and a Thunder King Kaiju. That's a pretty amazing hand. I think she can just start with the pot. I don't think it hurts anyone. So starting off with a Pot of Extravagance, she's going to be able to get that 6-card banish right off the get-go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. You can get your cards back. She gets to draw 2 cards. No Ash Blossom for me, unfortunately. Oh, she drew into a Battle Fader. That is a combo setup right there. When you have a Kaiju, a Battle Fader, and Inferno Tempest, you know you've got one of the best combinations ever. Because if someone tries to swing into you, if I try to summon something and swing into Care, what would happen is that I would get stopped by the Battle Fader. Battle Fader would then attack into whatever the Kaijus, and Inferno Tempest would just win the game from there. So simple 3-card combos. And she activated Gold Sark, banish Necroface. That's going to be added back to her hand. I hope she remembers to add it back to her. I think a die could have been put out there, just because it's a mandatory effect. And I did lose a copy of my. I guess I lost a copy of my Dragon Ravine. That's pretty painful. Losing Dragon Ravine makes that the Romulus isn't going to add us a rocket monster. In other words, combos can get stunned if the hands aren't great, and it doesn't seem like my hand is that great at this moment. She's gonna set a couple cards. I think she's not gonna, well, she doesn't have any monsters to actually proceed with, only a Battle Fader and a Kaiju and another Pot of Desires. Whew. But the win con is set, the trap is set, is ready to go. I draw for turn. I think I drew a Safer. I have a bunch of dragons. I can definitely try to execute something, but like drawing into Red Eyes Darkness Metal always feels kind of awkward. It's more like one of those cards that you want to just summon out straight from the deck and abuse it. That's probably why it's gonna get an errata, and that's probably why I got the errata. Okay, summon out Safer. We're going to use a Safer's effect to add a level 4 dragon. Most likely going to add a copy of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent because they kind of go hand in hand. It seems like during siding, cards were put back in upside down. So sorry about that, guys. That's a warning, isn't it? That's a mark cards warning because your cards are not all in the same direction. That would be an MC minor, I would say. Anyways, banish the Safer to summon out the Black Dragon. Black Dragon is now linked probably into a Striker Dragon. Now we got 2 chain links here, chain link 1, chain link 2. We get the White Dragon, and we also get the Field Spell. Boots Sector Launch. Oh, on special summon. Chain link 1, chain link 2, chain link 3 is now occurring. We got Demise of the Land, which activates a field spell straight from the deck, which is basically like a copy of Metaverse, except that it doesn't add to hand, so you can't really ash it. And it only happens on a special summon trigger. So I get to add my cards, and I think I just basically pass turn because there's nothing really more I can do. Locked under Mystic Mind, there's no effects, there's no point going anywhere. So not only do I get my Dragon Ravine banished, now I'm stuck under a Mystic Mind as well. This is not looking good for Tombox, or now I'm going third person for some reason. Not looking good for me. she's doing really well. She's abusing the fact that Mystic Mine can slow the game down, which is a really good play. And by the way, guys, she hasn't even been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for like a very long time. She has a Madolchi deck that every now and then she updates a combo, and that's all as far as she would go. But Necroface is probably as competitive of a deck she's ever picked up. Actually, that's not true. She played Cliffords back then. She was a Clee player, and she was actually pretty good at it. And I think I set 2 past turn. I'm hoping that I can't really die through that Mystic Mine. That's probably the reason why I did not extend and set up a bunch of defense. There was a quick launch in the back row, so if there were more damage going through, I could just probably just activate the quick launch and just chump block it. Now, while the Mystic Mine is on the field, it does hurt. Terraforming has been activated, adding another copy of Mystic Mine to hand. I think I only run 2 Mystic Mine in that particular build, so that is my build, so I would know that there's only 2. Now she's playing a Pot of Desires. Ooh, spicy. So banish 10 cards for cost. This is starting to look a little bit scary. Oh, of course, 1 standby phase has passed, so Necroface can be added back to hand in the upcoming turn. And then the graveyard, all the face down banish, all the face up banish, they can all be reset back into their appropriate places. Okay. Now looking at her hand, she drew into a Gren Manju to Iza. Oh my god. And I'm under Mystic Mine. I can't do anything about it. Otherwise, I would totally summon a Rocket Tracer, pop the Striker Dragon, and just put another monster in defense position. Just drop everything in defense, even that Rocket Tracer. Oh, this is not looking good. That's a lot of cards banished. Pot of Extravagance is 6. Pot of Desires is another 10, so that's even more. Allure of Darkness just now. How much damage is this? She can't summon another monster. If she summons another monster, it's basically okay, yeah, that's game. I think that's it. And for those of us wondering how much damage was that Gren Maju, just to give you guys a total number, it was 9,200, which was enough to strike over my Striker Dragon. So that was a legit game mode. I didn't early scoop, in case you were wondering. Gold Sark, Allure of Darkness, and then the 5 from Necroface, 6 from Pot, and then the other 10 from the other Pot. So you do the math there, just multiply that by 400 and you'll know what it is. Anyways, I'm gonna be going first this final game. I really don't want to put 1 step forward closer to that fermented stuff. Ooh, my hand is not the most ideal, but I'll showcase to you guys right now. Normal summon out the Gateway Dragon. With the Gateway Dragon summoned out, we're going to link it into a Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon, add the field spell. This is with World Legacy Guard Dragon. World Legacy Guard Dragon is one of the best extenders that you can get, even with crappy dragons like this Gateway Dragon that doesn't even carry a rocket name. You can still make a pretty decent board. So we're gonna go ahead and activate the World Legacy Guard Dragon, and we're gonna special summon it onto the field. And we already have Boot Sector launch, so we can go into Romulus, and Romulus can fetch up to Dragon's Ravine, and we can do the Dark combo if we actually want to extend now. So we're gonna add, of course, that's gonna activate. We're gonna add the field spell, and we're going to activate the Dragon Ravine. Probably likely going to throw an Absol into the graveyard, then use Boot Sector to try to do something funky. Yeah, Dragon Ravine. Activate the effect, throw away 1 copy of the Cult of the Grave. I have 2 copies of Cult of the Grave, which is not the most effective card against them, but yeah, we need something at the very least. Anyways, the Absol has been activated, and we're gonna add the Rocket Tracer. And we're gonna activate the Boot Sector launch and special summon out the Rocket Tracer onto the field. Hold on. Care is right now holding a giant rock. That is summon number 4. It's time to not to make another summon, Tom. But apparently, it's like, how many summons is that? That's 3. It requires 2 monsters plus itself. That's 3. That's 4. Okay, we're at 4. We're gonna pop it. Now we're at 5. The only thing I told Kara about the rock is probably drop it as early as possible before they go into something that could negate you. So what does that card do? Oh, it does really nothing. It just pops or sends your monster to the graveyard, non-targeting if I target it. It's like, nope, Nibiru. Oh my goodness, the rock is in the house. What's cooking? Oh, this is rough. So I get a token. Token's defense is actually lower than 3,000. That's all you really have to care about. I think it's like 22 or something. It's not very strong. Attack is over 4k, that's why it's in defense position. But this is still the first turn, so it doesn't really matter. If you wanted something that's to crash into, that would trigger Infernal Tempest, then you would love the attack position. And let's check the graveyard. We're gonna banish a couple cards. Oh, you can't banish that. That's not a dark or a light. So Striker Dragon, Gateway Dragon, and Rocket Tracer. I think that was a mispull. I think Magna Rocket should have been the one that got pulled. We're gonna summon a Chaos Dragon Levianeer. We're gonna rip a card out just to minimize the combo chances, just in case. Please get rid of a Mystic Mine or something along those lines. Set 1. Do I want to extend? I don't think there's very much to extend with now. We're gonna pass turn. At least leaving the board with a Chaos Dragon Levianeer, there's less of a threat of getting killed by Nibiru. I know the token's basically dead. Oh, drew into a Battle Fader. So many Battle Faders. There is a Pot of Extravagance, which is good. There's basically no response from me except for the face down card. So Pot of Extravagance. Okay, she's gonna choose 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. There's that pile of 6, and she gets to draw 2 cards. Looking into her hand, she's already basically got an OTK setup ready to kill. And draw 2. Necroface has been drawn. And Soul Absorption. Oh, that card is a nightmare. It's so... The text is so underwhelming. But once you leave it on the field long enough, you realize that the reason why you're still playing that game is because that Soul Absorption has already boosted their attack past 3 games worth of life. Soul Absorption is one of the cards that you have to pop. If you don't pop it, you won't be able to OTK. Your combos don't get that reach. The reach keeps on... Basically, the goalpost of game keeps on getting pushed further and further back to the point that you run out of stamina. You're doing like a 100-meter dash, but all of a sudden you're doing like a 10k marathon. It feels really bad. You started off with a sprint and you're out of gas already. So that's what Soul Absorption does to you. Oh, gotta make a choice now. I think she's past turn. Oh, there's a Magna Rocket in hand. It can be summoned. If it gets summoned, you can add a Striker Dragon to your hand and then get yourself a copy of Boot Sector Launch. Okay, we're gonna crash the Chaos Dragon Levianeer into the Nibiru. The token's already dead, and we're gonna swing for 18. Nope, no swing for 18. Battle Fader has been activated in defense position. So it summoned itself in defense position. I guess we're good. And that Battle Fader is going to boost the attack by, or not boost attack, but boost life points by 500 because it will banish itself when it leaves the field. Okay, and we are going to go into that. That's the Striker Dragon, and we're going to move it down. We're going to use World Legacy Guard Dragon to move it down to give us an arrow. So we open up 2 zones. And are we gonna get OTK through this? Nope, another Battle Fader. So many stall cards. This is why the deck is so hard to kill unless you have a handful of negations. Even if you have Appaloosa or Boros, like well, Appaloosa or Borload Savage, remember that they can just keep using Battle Fader. It's rough. Now she's contemplating trying to get rid of my Striker Dragon, but I think she's come to the conclusion that there is actually nothing that she can really do with the one Battle Fader to do so, unless she's choosing to normal summon another Battle Fader, which I think is a big waste, because most you're going to is a Phoenix. Okay. I think I'm going to proceed to summon out a Rocket Tracer. Yeah, Rocket Tracer. Just drop it. At this point, I would issue myself a slow play warning. Slow play, Tom. Slow play. Thinking too long. I guess I know that the situation is really weird. What if they have more interaction? What if they have more disruption? But that's for another day. Anyways, we're gonna give Care 500 life points for the Battle Fader because it got banished with the Soul Absorption up, and we're also going to swing for 16. To push for more damage, we gotta keep the life low now. The moment that the Soul Absorption got put onto the field, you have to keep the life low. So we're gonna use Rocket Tracer's effect. We're gonna pop the World Legacy Guard Dragon. I think we're just gonna go for a Silver Rocket, the highest damage possible, and we're gonna punch again. Yep. So 5k to 8k right now. Okay, goal is within reach now. We could technically just synchro this one off right now. We definitely could synchro this one off right now. But instead, we're gonna go into Rocket, or actually, we're gonna add back a Rocket monster. We're gonna add back a Magna Rocket by popping the Striker Dragon. And we're gonna pass turn. Upstart Goblin. So Upstart Goblin. Draw a card, gain 1,000 life on Tombox side. Allure of Darkness. Oh my god, she's just going in. She'll be gaining 1,000 or 500 life points. Double Mystic Mind. What's going on? We're gonna see a banish of the Necroface. Oh my god, even more so. So this is what I mean by the grind now. So first of all, the Allure of Darkness target, and 5,000 more life for the Care. So 10,500 to 9,000. It seems like all the damage it dealt was just completely worthless now. No, can't be serious. I think she can just sit on a Mystic Mind now. She drew into 2 Mystic Minds. Oh boy, nope. Mystic Mind has been played. Do I want to change the Rocket Tracer to change up my monsters? It doesn't really make that big of a difference now. Draw for turn. Hoping for that Twin Twister now. We're kind of locked out, and we're just gonna go defensive right now because I don't run Pentastag in my my Necroface, so that I don't get one punch by a Grand Maju Necroface, or not Necroface, Grand Maju with a Pentastag. Okay, we're gonna pass turn. Since we're stuck under Mystic Mind, we're just gonna pass turn. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what we don't want to put ourselves in, because Necroface enjoy dragging it out, setting up more and more. And as they set up more and more, it's just gonna be super one-sided after that. Activate the Dragon Shrine. Dragon Shrine's effect. We're going to, oh man, Twin Twisters at the bottom. All right, look at all those Twin Twisters. We can throw into the graveyard a Galactic Spiral Dragon because we don't really want to draw into that card. We can't activate or summon it, so let's get rid of that. And when we do breakthrough, it has potential use to push even further. We're past turn. Oh, please don't be it. Oh, we got a Thunder King Kaiju. I think the next couple of turns are just going to be passing back and forth, Draw for turn. Did I get out? Did I get it? I got a spell card, but it's not the one I was looking for. So we're going to set one and pass. Care draws one. She's got double Kaiju now. In other words, she's safe even if she drops a Kaiju. She's safe to just give it to me and just eventually kill it off herself. The Kaiju Slumber. I'm not sure if the Slumber is even live anymore. But if it gets popped, then she can banish it to add another Kaiju to hand. I'm hesitant to set a card. My hand is pretty full. Oh, we got a pass turn. And Terraforming, that's a pretty dead card. She seems like she's just getting dead card after dead card after dead card. This is not the most ideal situation, but not the, like, at least it's a little bit of a stalemate. We're going to draw a card, pass turn. Just need that Twin Twister. Just need it. Oh, Infernal Tempest is in the house. The roof is on fire. If you actually look at the artwork of Infernal Tempest, it almost looks like the second part of Nibiru, where it actually landed on Earth. And everything gets banished when he lands on Earth. So we're going to look at a Kaiju being dropped. Hit whichever one she wants. This one's the tuner, so she's going to go for the tuner. That's what she asked for. Like, which one's the tuner guy? The one that actually does something. I'm like, it's this one. And therefore she threw it over. Normal summon out with the Battle Fader. That is like red flags right there. And it's really annoying because I'm like, okay, how many Necrofaces have you used? Oh, you used one banished Necroface already. So 10 cards. How bad could it be? Well, Battle Phase, attack with the Battle Fader. I have no response to this. So she's going to take a 3,300 to the face, which is enough to proc off the Infernal Tempest, which I do not have a negate for. I'm under Mystic Mind, so there's no point in doing very much of anything. Okay, so I guess we'll just get rid of cards in our decks. So all monsters in the deck and graveyard are now going to get banished on both players' side. The problem is, I already have my graveyard set up, but the other problem, the bigger problem right now, is that there's multiple Necrofaces about to get banished. I wrote down the monster count. There was the initial banish is about 29, and the Necroface banish is the remainder of both our decks. That's a total of 46 cards, I believe. So there is life gain to be had. There is 2 copies of Soul Absorption, so it's about 1,000 per copy. So the life points that we're gonna reach into now is a bit weird. So let's just say it's 46,000 life points about to be added. So this game, there's now 53,200. I don't think I can OTK through this. And the double Necroface, I only have 7 cards left. I have to banish all my spells. She has no cards left either. However, it isn't her time to draw, and you only lose when you need to draw a card. This is why you don't want to get stuck under a Mystic Mind like this. It's so awful. It seems like I'm getting closer and closer to the kitchen sink. Yeah, so even if we go into time, I don't think I can reduce her life points. I need something to half life points or share life points. It's time to get the Yujo friendship. We gotta offer that handshake to share some of that life. And all she really needs to do is not end turn. And the scarier part is that, okay, sure, the Battle Fader, yeah, it's dead. And oh, I guess she gains another 1,000 right there. Oh, that Battle Fader is not supposed to be in the graveyard. It's supposed to, and yeah, draw for turn, can't draw, it's game. And she has another Kaiju. The scary part is even if I try to swing with anything, she'll go into the Battle Fader and then she'll absorb the highest attacker, and I really have nothing left to play at that point. It's basically a good game. Oh, well, I guess that's it, guys.
Here you go. Thank you, Tombox.
Stupid mystic mind. Crush band.
Thank you, Tombox.
For the next little bit, we're just eating simple meals. We're just gonna eat like cup noodle.
What about a tiramisu cake?
No, we're not. I'm not cooking anything.
Homemade lasagna.
Can we just do frozen? And that is all I got for this particular video, guys. As a summary, Care takes the victory with a 2-1 victory, demonstrating a 1-punch and an alternative deck out to complete her victory cycle in this particular match. Sucks for me. I gotta go take out some trash. I gotta take out the fermented stuff from the fridge. And well, that's how it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing a bit of a live duel today. I know that we're not getting a lot of live duels these days, so make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you guys hit the subscribe ding notification bell to stay up to date with MST.TV. I got ruling segments coming up. I got other couple fun stuff that I would like to show you guys as well, so stay tuned for MST.TV, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hold on to your MST.TV.